Hi, it's Yllara with my forecast for 2023, whose energy will be very different from 2022. Things are definitely to speed up. No stagnation, but a lot of movement and activity, new ideas, many projects, and new beginnings. It will be, especially between April and October, a year of fire and air that fuels the fire. If we add up all the digits, 2023 numerologically is a 7, a number that corresponds to planet Saturn, whose vibration and agenda will govern the new year. Saturn is the lord of karma, of time, and of the form our consciousness is in. His avatar is a turtle that supports the world, earth, matter, on his back. It means that Saturn gives us structure, the structure of the different koshas of ourselves, from the densest foot body to the most subtle bliss body. Yet, when there is too much Saturn, too much accumulated karma, too much identification with our past, trauma, circumstances, and what we believe is our identity, we cannot experience the bliss of our very essence because of too much density in the outer layers, which means that we need Saturn in a proper measure. And this is why he is exalted in Libra, the sign of the scales. It is a matter of being honest, upright, responsible, with healthy routines, and everything else needs to be purified, which is why Saturn likes fasting, detox, decluttering, and this is something we can do to honor Saturn, for example, on its day, which is Saturday. Saturn is the slowest planet of all. It takes him 29 years to go around the Sun. Hence, his transits are the most important and the longest. And it is a Saturn transit who changes signs every 2.5 years that awaits us in 2023, a year that is defined by 3 major astrological events. One is Saturn finishing his transit through sidereal Capricorn, which did start with the pandemic in early 2020, ready now to enter his more active air sign of Aquarius on January 17th, 2023. There will be definitely an increase of vata that we need to manage, getting enough rest, have warmth and earth in our life, enjoy oil massage, and eat warm food, not cold nor dry. The second major astrological event of 2023 is Jupiter entering sidereal Aries on April 21st. And the third is the change of the nodal axis, with the lunar south node going into Virgo and the north node into Pisces on October 31st. I will speak about this last event of the nodes changing signs in another video when we get closer to it, and focus in this clip on the changes promoted by Jupiter and Saturn. Saturn entering Aquarius raises a lot of expectation because of our slow transit from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, a sign that nevertheless is one of the most complex of the zodiac. And I say this with my ascendant in Aquarius. It is the sign of the water bearer. Because of a lack of water, there is thirst in Aquarius, a dryness and coldness, a shortage of affection that we may perceive and suffer in our environment, but also a certain difficulty connecting with one's own feelings, because the evolutionary aim is to develop witness consciousness, no longer losing ourselves in the objects of our experience in the world and others, but to return to the driver's seat of the seer, the one who experiences. Aquarius is on a spiritual quest, seeking the experience of unity consciousness, the equality of all beings, but not in the sense of a socialist or communist ideology, but experiencing that the one and only consciousness, light, beingness, wise, loving and blissful waves of one beautiful ocean of sound expresses itself in all beings through different lenses. That means that we need to know ourselves, which is why Aquarius promotes an accelerated process of individuation. And as human beings yearn to belong and long for security, it is not an easy process to walk this path of self-discovery. Sometimes we may try to belong and fit into smaller and more special groups. Aquarius is famous also for the trap of disdaining the body and wanting to ascend to higher dimensions, which is why we can easily get lost in virtual realities of different kind as astral travel, Netflix, and Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse. The focus on external instead of internal technology is another downfall and danger of Aquarian influence. And we can see this in the increase of artificial intelligence. Yet we do have a marvelously complex nervous system and subtle body, which enable the awakening and evolution of consciousness. And when sometime enough beings will live in unity consciousness, the world will be a very different place. But in order for that to be someday, the consciousness in us has to evolve. And Saturn transiting Aquarius from January 2023 until 2025 will promote the necessary experiences that we must undergo to detach and strip ourselves from unhealthy identifications, patterns, and clinging tendencies. The most affected by this demanding Saturn transit will be those with their natal ascendant in sidereal Aquarius, those experiencing a Saturn return at age 29, 58 or 87, as well as those undergoing Sade Sati, which is a transit and a delicate condition that lasts 7.5 years. 2.5 years in the sign prior to the natal moon, another 2.5 years in the moon sign, and finally 2.5 years in the sign after. And these are, for Saturn in Aquarius, the moons in sidereal Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. Sadhisati, as well as Saturn's transit over the ascendant and Saturn's return, put pressure on our nervous system and physical body. We might experience anxiety and certain gloominess and perhaps face health challenges regarding bones, joints, teeth and skin, whilst working on the decluttering of our attachments, of too much structure, density and limiting identifications. The main remedy for Saturn affecting our life is always to increase the energy of the sun by taking gold essence or gemstone essence of ruby, herbs like ashwagandha, and it is advised to chant the Gayatri mantra in the mornings because it stabilizes our mind. We can place an image of Vishnu as turtle avatar on our altar and light incense because Aquarius is an air sign. And there are specific mantras for Saturn, for example, transiting our ascendant, which is Om Namah Shivaya Kaleshvaraya Haum Jum Sa, as well as for Sadhisati. In this case, we invoke Hanuman with the mantra Om Ham Rudraya Hanumate Namah. Saturn in Aquarius, in opposition to the sign of Leo, means also that monarchies, autocratic governments and powerful family clans will find themselves under much pressure. On the brighter side of things, there are 3 natal moon signs for which Saturn's transit through Aquarius, 3, 6 or 11 houses away, will be lucky, in fact extremely rewarding, if our natal moon is in sidereal Sagittarius, Virgo or Aries. People with the moon in Sagittarius will just come out of Sadhisati. The level of stress, of pressure decreases and new doors open up. Moons in Virgo will experience a new harmony and stable balance, which is very healing on many levels. And moons in Aries will see many long-term wishes fulfilled, as if good karma finally pays off. Aries is a blessed sign in 2023 because of Saturn's blessings, but also because of the entry of Jupiter on April 21st. It is a beneficial transit because Jupiter and Mars are mutual friends, but the 10 days between April 17th and 27th, when Jupiter is in Gandanta, in the last degree of the water sign of Pisces and the first degree of the fire sign of Aries, might be challenging, because Gandanta causes disruptive energy. It brings instability, and it is advised not to start anything new in these 10 days. nor travel if possible. Let us wait until the very last days of April and then immerse ourselves in the expansive and inspiring energy of Jupiter in Aries. It is all about giving ourselves enough space, freedom and independence to follow the spark from within, the inner calling, light and guidance that inspires our passion and creativity and stimulates us to explore in an adventurous, pioneering and enthusiastic way how our particular music, our particular frequency wants to play out. In this sense, Jupiter in Aries and Saturn in Aquarius complement each other in their agendas. And we might get a flavor of it already in the second half of January, when Mars, the ruler of Aries, turns direct at the very same time that Saturn enters Aquarius. However, we will need also to exercise caution with this Jupiter transit because of the presence of Rahu in the same fiery sign. Rahu, the lunar north node, goes through sidereal Aries until the end of October, and the two of them will be in a difficult conjunction known as Guru Chandal Yoga for about 6 months. It is a condition that can lead to a hyper expansion that blows all limits, rules, taboos, and favors radical changes. The last time the world experienced a Guru Chandal Yoga in Aries was in the year 1893, when Nikola Tesla was engaged in harnessing electricity to provide power, and the Universal World Fair, known as the Columbian Exposition of Chicago, was illuminated using Tesla's lighting. On the darker side of things, the Panic of May 1893 brought a catastrophic crash of the New York stock market that had a global effect on the world and would lead to the Great Depression of 1929. This means that the already complicated economic state of affairs may get worse, out of hands, because too risky, impulsive and reactive decisions could be made. And this combination of fire, air and space, this is Aries, Rahu and Jupiter, holds the danger of a nuclear escalation of the war in Europe. Ideologies that cause conflict and war are fueled by this fire-air-space combination. World leaders can become stubborn, unable to cooperate, and unwilling to compromise. And we have to look out for that as well in ourselves. We may experience also easily some dispersion or scattering with many ideas on our mind, but never finish any project, being jack of all trades but master of none. We must watch out not to be shot into the pinball machine of the matrix. And this whole Jupiter-Rahu in Aries related energy may physically manifest as anxiety, hypertension, asthma, and cause also liver diseases. it is advisable to place an image of Jupiter on our altar, perhaps of Vamana as his avatar. Offer a red or orange flower and light a candle, because Aries is a fire sign, and chant this mantra to Garuda, who stands for the sun, destroying the shadow of Guru Chandal Dosha. Ksipa Om Swaha. I hope we all do find a moment in this transition between the old and the new to reflect on the year that is ending, count our blessings, and prepare for the year to come with cautiously set intentions. It promises to be an interesting year with many changes and new beginnings. And I wish you all a blessed, bright and magical 2023.